Hi everyone, I just wanted to give you a heads up on the futures. And in this case, you can see that this is a weekly chart. And if this bar, which ends today, actually closes below 73.3675, we're probably going to see the Nasdaq move down to about 6,800, possibly 70.25. It's about a 40-point drop. Now I'm going to go back to a daily chart, and you can see that it's actually testing this moving average. It's tested it one time before, and now it's coming back to test it again. If that moving average holds, it's about 74.25. And if that holds, this is going to send the market down. Well, then when you go down to the 360, you can see right now it's actually right at this moving average at 73.93 and at 74.13. If these areas hold, then my anticipation would be that it would take out this low at 74.5. One other thing I wanted to mention on the weekly, and I just forgot to mention it, you do have a stochastics that's overextended. Okay, so that also leads me to believe that we're going to get some downward movement on the Nasdaq. So if you go down to a 60-minute, you can see that it tested this high and it's rejected it so far. Again, I'm watching these areas around 73.50 to see if it supports price. From what I'm seeing right now, it may not support it. And I would have anticipated that it will support it because we've had this divergence over here on the 360. They're giving buyers an opportunity to come into the market, but it looks like buyers are not taking it, which tells me that if they do not step in at the market opening today, we may see some downward action. If we go down to the lower time frames, you can see this is coming back to test the ATR. On the 12-minute, you can see that we're overextended. Now, this would be normal because it just broke this ATR. It's come down to the congestion dot, and that tells me it should come back and either test 73.72 area or the 73.76. And I actually think that will happen before the market opens this morning. That's what I would be looking for. It's about 5:10 this morning. If I go and look at the ES, you can see we have the same patterns on the ES as well. Again, you're testing these ATR areas, which are coinciding with the moving averages as well. Then if you go to the Russell, let's go over here. You can see the Russell is testing the moving averages as well. The only difference in the Russell is that this daily has turned upwards, okay? But you are overextended on the 360. Again, that tells me it should push back to just about 1517 or 1528. So I do think we're going to probably get some downward movement. I am going to be watching it closely because if this plays out on the weekly, then we're going to get some really strong downward movement. Now, on the other hand, if these areas support price, then we could continue up to 1560-ish on the Russell. Over on the Nasdaq, if this continues, if they support price, then it could continue up to about 74.75. So I think it's going to be an interesting day in the Nasdaq. But again, I'm watching all of these to see what actually happens, because it could be setting up for some really good trades next week.